Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. The Chinese embassy in Guyana has refuted claims that some Chinese companies pay bribes to officials to get contracts. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Friday, 11th February 2022. Details when we return.
Conveniently located in the Grand Anne Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Granans will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Welcome back. The Embassy of the People's Republic of China has rubbished claims that some Chinese companies in Georgetown have been paying bribes to acquire large contracts in Guyana. More in this News Source Guyana report with Gordon Mosley.
During an interview with international media Vice News, the allegation of Chinese companies paying bribes in this country was put to the Vice President Barbados, who the journalist conducting the interview claimed is an alleged recipient of such bribes, according to a Chinese businessman and lobbyist. Mr. Jack Dio has refuted the allegations and denied them altogether. The Chinese embassy here in Guyana has now added its voice to the issue, claiming that the Vice News reporter who came to Guyana came with a premeditated agenda and tried to smear and attack China-Guyana cooperation as well as Chinese companies. The Chinese embassy said it is dissatisfied with and firmly opposes the violation of professional ethics by the reporter and maintained that Guyana-China relations remain firm. All of China's media are state-run and controlled. The Chinese embassy said that it highly appreciates that the government of Guyana upholds the One China principle and keeps developing cordial relations with China, adding that China-Guyana friendly cooperation featuring equality, mutual benefit, innovation, openness, and benefits for the people is in accordance with the interests of the two countries and two peoples, not against any third party, nor should be influenced by any third party. As it relates to Chinese companies operating here in Guyana, the embassy said from all accounts those companies are operating above board, and the reporter's account of events might not be accurate. According to the Chinese embassy, Chinese companies operating in Guyana are following the local laws, international practices, and market rules, and they are participating in big projects through open and fair competitions, which is beyond reproach. Guyana and China have shared diplomatic relations for over 50 years, and Chinese businesses have been major investors in the country.
Barbados' Supreme Court will hear a motion to determine whether the new Senate is properly constituted. Barbados Today has some details.
Former Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite QC has brought the action to resolve what he describes as controversy over whether the Senate can function with only 18 of the 21 senators currently installed. Brathwaite's attorneys Garth Patterson QC and Michelle Russell filed the motion this evening. Brathwaite says the issue goes to the heart of democracy and he's compelled to cease the court's intervention. He made it clear that he was acting in his capacity as a former Attorney General and as a private citizen who is deeply committed to the notion that government must be in line with the country's laws. He insisted the action was not brought on behalf of any political party with which he was previously affiliated. Brathwaite was a former member of the Democratic Labour Party.
The COVID-19 pandemic has triggered worrying issues for healthcare workers, including symptoms of depression, suicidal thinking, and psychological distress. This is a concern registered by PAHO's director, Dr. Clarissa Etienne.
During her weekly press briefing today, she expressed concern that a high number of workers have been affected.
We've been closely tracking the pandemic's effect on our region's health workforce. We've released a new report this week that describes the challenges that our frontline workers have faced and effective policies to help protect them. This data complements other studies that PAHO has led on the mental health of our health workers. Today, I want to share a few lessons and key takeaways from these analyses. The first is that, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, health workers were caught off guard, and our health systems were unprepared to support them. Doctors, nurses, and other frontline health workers saw more patients and worked longer hours than ever before. They were vulnerable to a new virus, and without sufficient masks, gloves, and other personal protective equipment, suffered high rates of COVID infection.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
A 23-year-old who complained to police that he was repeatedly raped and beaten by another man in Tobago is no longer alive to tell the story. The young man dropped dead last Friday in Moorea, Tobago, after making a report on his latest beating to the Moorea police. His mother spoke with TV6's Elizabeth Williams, and here is that report.
He made several reports on the person, and the police and them do nothing. They said they can't do there, nothing they could do. Right? So he went and made this report on Friday, and after when he come from the police station, he went and buy a pack of biscuit, and then he dropped down on the road.
The mother told TV6 News that her son complained to her that he was repeatedly raped and beaten by a man who he lived with. She says his final beating at the hands of the man involved the use of a sledgehammer. Last Friday, the beating was just too much. The grief-stricken woman laments.
Oh, this person was raping him and beating him, right? Because the police call the person and tell the person that my son come and make a report about the person who was doing the act.
She said her son was constantly harassed.
He always waking up the child from his sleep, waking him up from his sleep and harassing him in the night. Wake up, get up, get up, get up.
TV6 reached out to founder of the Fathers Association, Rondell Fields, to find out if his association gets involved in cases of men abusing men. Mr. Fields said there are cases of men being abused, but afraid to speak out for fear of being victimized and laughed at.
It's such a taboo in our culture that many men, though they experience these things, whether it be by the hands of men or even sexual assault by women, it's such a sexual taboo that they are very afraid, or sometimes they're afraid that they are victimized or criticized or scorned or laughed at in society if they come forward and bring this information forward. So you will see a lot of males, adult males, and even and children, particularly young boys, are commonly sexually assaulted and raped, and they keep it privately. When we see a lot of the ads from the TTPS and a lot of the ads from state, it is never to encourage or make young men feel comfortable or young boys feel comfortable to report things of this nature. And this is the thing that needs to change. The Children Authority and the Child Protection Unit need to keep sensitizing the public of the normality of these things happening to boys as much as it happens to girls, so that people feel comfortable, so that the nation is sensitized, so that they could come out and report when these things happen to them. It's a social problem we're suffering from, and that is why this thing is being allowed to be perpetuated behind closed doors.
TV6 contacted Assistant Commissioner of Police Tobago William Nurse, who stated that he would look into the matter. Elizabeth Williams, TV6 News.
Ambassador Colin Murdoch has welcomed the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the World Health Organization and the Commonwealth Secretariat on developmental issues. The OECS permanent representative to the United Nations was in virtual attendance at the signing ceremony earlier this week. Ursula Charles Jr. of ABS News reports.
Ambassador Colin Murdoch has lauded the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU, between the World Health Organization and the Commonwealth Secretariat. Speaking at this ceremony on behalf of Caribbean states, the OECS's permanent representative to the United Nations applauds the foresight behind the signing.
We wish to commend the vision and hard work that has brought us to this point. We wish to commend the visionary and robust leadership of Dr. Tedros and his team in very difficult circumstances.
The two parties have agreed to work together and strengthen the exchange of information on 7 priority areas. These include promoting universal health coverage and primary health care. Ambassador Murdoch says the region looks forward to the benefits.
This MOU creates a multiplier effect. This MOU provides value added that would be impossible were both organizations working alone. This MOU broadens the scope of cooperation for tackling the pandemic and its pernicious effects.
While touting the capacity of the MOU to set the standard for similar agreements, Ambassador Murdoch sees the potential for equity. He shares a tale of an encounter between Prime Minister the Honourable Gaston Browne and Commonwealth Secretary General Baroness Patricia Scotland.
The distinguished Secretary General of the Commonwealth once told my Prime Minister, in highlighting the inequitable response among countries in relation to the world's pandemic, we are in the same storm, but we are not in the same boat. I believe that this MOU puts us that much closer to being in the same boat. And that can only be a good thing.
The MOU was signed by both Baroness Patricia Scotland, Secretary General of the Commonwealth Secretariat, and Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, Director General of the World Health Organization. For ABS News, I'm Ursula Charles Jr.
Conveniently located in the Grand Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Granans will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
I am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.